Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for The Outer Worlds on PlayStation 4. A game that I've been very much looking forward to playing, as have many of you, I am sure, since we saw all the trailers and gameplay footage of this game. Now this game is brought to us by Obsidian, and they made previously Fallout New Vegas, which many believe to be the best Fallout game in the franchise. Now this game is a first-person space RPG, and it starts off with you as a faceless, nameless colony member who's been frozen in hibernation sleep for decades, and you are rescued by this doctor who is a wanted criminal, but he wants also to free these colonists, and he frees you, and then you are able to fully develop your character. Decide what his perks and skills are going to be, as well as designing what he or she will look like. You have full control over that, and then you are basically fired off to the planet below, and your adventure begins. And you can then go off and do pretty much what you want, even though there are structured missions for you to complete. This is not an open world game. It's all more like hubs on planets and space stations and things like that. It's one of those, and it's a better game for it. I will definitely say that. Not every game has to be open world. So you are initially thrown on this planet, and you've got to then do some investigating for this doctor, and your first job is to try and get hold of a ship, and you end up getting a ship called the Unreliable, and you end up getting a crew of companions to help you along your way on your adventures, which take you across the galaxy to different planets, different spaceships, space stations, moons, all that kind of stuff. So it's a really fun game for the most part, this game. Now, from my perspective, I really love the way this game looks. I think it's really beautiful, and the graphics for the most part are fantastic. The facial features and the lip syncing is all done to really high quality. Some people might not like the oversaturated colour palette of the game. I didn't mind it at all. I think it made it have a really unique look to the game, and I really liked it. I thought the voice acting for all the characters was top-notch stuff. And the writing was really nicely done for the most part. All the dialogue and conversations that you have with these characters that you interact with are for the most part really nicely done, and you never really want to skip much of the dialogue. I think it's really top quality stuff. Now, single player fans here are going to be very happy with this game. It's another example, and we have got a few of these examples last year with Red Dead and God of War and Spider-Man, that showed some of these developers out there that live service games are not what everybody wants. We want good quality single player games, and this game is definitely one of those. And I think it's another example to these companies that, you know, live service games are not always the way to go. So I do applaud Obsidian for that. They've delivered a top-notch single player game that has a lot of replay value, and the reason it has a lot of replay value is the choices that you get in this game. You can approach any of the missions pretty much however you want, and it really depends on how you develop and build your character with the skill trees. You can be a brute and go in full on melees and smash people to pieces, or put loads of skill points in the weapons and become like this super marine, or you can be more diplomatic and put your skill points in dialogue, leadership, even stealth, so you could sneak around. Apparently you can go through the majority of this game without killing any characters, and vice versa. You can also go through this game and kill pretty much everybody that you want to. The choice is completely up to you, and that's why this game has so much replayability, because you can approach the missions pretty much any way that you want to do. And I really like that. You can replay this game as often as you want and go at it from different angles. So much replayability factor in this. Now, I haven't fully completed this game yet, and I'm well over 20 hours into it, and there are reports out there of people taking up to 40 hours plus to complete this game if you do every little detail in the game. And when you add in the replayability factor into the game, you could be getting upwards of 80-90 hours by the time you've done 2 or 3 playthroughs in this game. What a fantastic bargain, and what great value for money you are getting with any game that can give you that amount of time in it. It's got some really strong RPG mechanics. Like I say, you've got your skill trees, you've got your perks, and you can do the same. You can control what your companions wear, the weapons they use, what perks you give them. Your companions in the game have all got like companion quests, very similar to Mass Effect. Generally speaking, they're a lot of fun to play, these side quests. I didn't have a problem with them at all. The main quest line of the game is pretty interesting. It keeps you interested and keeps you going through the game. There are a whole multitude of side quests to do as well if you choose to. Some of them, yes, they are fetch quest type stuff, but the areas that you go in to do these fetch questing stuff have got so much loot. I mean, this game is absolutely littered with loot everywhere, and if you can pick it up and carry it all, around every single nook and cranny there's loot for you to collect and pick up. It's really loads of fun in that aspect too. So it's got really strong RPG mechanics. The combat, I think, is really nicely done here. Now, I'm not a fan of first-person shooters. However, I think the game here delivers really top-notch combat gameplay here. I think the weapons on display, there's so many to choose from. You've got your handguns, your assault rifles, your plasma guns, miniguns, grenade launchers. You name it, they're in here, and they all feel, I think, pretty differently as well, and they all give you a different approach to the combat in the game, and I really like that. They felt pretty impactful when you use them, and the variety of weapons that you can use in the game always keep it interesting. So no problems there at all. I'm sure there are first person shooters out there that are much better at doing it than this game, but this game is not just about the combat. There's so much more to this game, but I think it delivers on the combat, and I found it to be really competent and a lot of fun for the most part. So what we have here is a really well made game. I think Obsidian have delivered, from my perspective, easily. I think one of the best games that I've certainly played over the last year or two. It's right up there. It's so much fun to play. The missions, the dialogue, the writing's so well done here as well, in the sense of when you're talking to people, it's funny. There's even touches on some social issues and things like that as well. It doesn't shy away from any of that. And I'm really having such a blast playing this game. It's a lot of fun. What is not to like about having your own spaceship, your own crew, and flitting about to different planets, doing all sorts of different missions? And I can't honestly think anywhere I've been where I was bored with this game. It just doesn't bore you. It's one of those games that you can lose 3 or 4 hours in at the blink of an eye, because you're so drawn into this game, because it's so nicely made and it's so much fun. So I'm really happy with this game. It's one of those that I think is definitely, you should be going out there and buying right now. You don't need to wait for a sale. It's one of the very few games that if you pre-ordered, you get exactly what you hoped you were going to get. There are some games that you hope are going to be good, and you see all the trailers and gameplay footage leading up to the game being released. You hope it's going to be really good, and then sometimes they're just disappointing and they fail to deliver on those expectations. And there are some games that meet those expectations and even surpass them, and this game is thankfully one of those games. It absolutely certainly meets your expectations, and from my perspective it slightly surpassed them as well. So I've nothing but good things to say about this game. I don't necessarily think it's for everybody, but no game is. But I'm giving it a very strong 9 out of 10. arguably my favourite game of the year so far. I'm having loads of fun with it. I will be continuing to play it for some time, replaying it, going at each missions with different angles and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely a strong buy, this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you very much for watching, and of course I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.